What is up, everybody? This is James Hall, and welcome to Restoring Heroes Project. Look, it's a different type of thing today. I want to share a video with you that I've watched recently called "The Procedure." It is done by Lore TV. If you don't know anything about Lore, it's a Christian company who wants to make godly content to combat the world telling good stories. So this is going to be really hard to watch, but we're going to do a review. You go watch it with me, bear with me as I we go through it. So it's called A Procedure. Let's get into it.
I just arrived at work as the hospital's lead sonographer and was looking at the patient's schedule for the day when my boss told me to go immediately to the OR. The surgeon was requesting ultrasound guidance. That was all the information I was given. I had no idea what I was walking into. I wheeled the ultrasound machine into the OR. The patient was already sedated on the operating table. Plugging in the machine, I waited for instructions from the doctor. He barked at me to place the ultrasound probe on the patient's pelvis so he wouldn't perforate her uterus. Still confused about the procedure, I did as he asked and realized the woman was pregnant.
So let me just stop right there. Let me give a better view of this. So this is what's going on. This video here is very powerful, but it also will tear down. That's what I wanted to share. It will tear down every thought that makes you believe that this baby is just a bundle of cells, or it's not human, or it's not actually a baby inside. You're not taking actual life away. You're not taking a life away, if you're a pro-choice, you're a pro murdering babies, you're a pro death penalty for the child because of convenience, because of Moloch worship, because of convenience of your wallet, of your lifestyle that you want for your life. You want the death penalty for a child, and there's no if, ands, or buts about it. You're right, dear woke Christian. Everyone needs to watch this. Everyone. Let's keep it going.
She was in her second trimester, so I easily determined the gender of her baby, a little girl. Stunned, I watched the doctor thrust a catheter into the amniotic sac. The fetus dodged the catheter and tried to hide in the top of her mother's uterus to get away. In horror, I watched as he inserted a forceps clamp and grabbed her tiny leg. She writhed around in pain, trying to break free, but there was nowhere for her to go. Then the doctor pulled hard until her leg ripped away from her body. She recoiled and violently twisted around in pain.
It's only my second time watching this, and it's still hard for me to get through. It's still hard for me to get through. Let's keep it going. We got to do it, though. We got to do it.
And curled herself into a tight ball. But it was no use. The clamp grabbed her arm and she struggled to pull away. Her movements weakened now because she was dying. He pulled her arm off of her body. My vision blurred. My eyes filled with tears. The child again curled herself into a tight ball, but again, the device grabbed her other leg and it was ripped from her body. By now, her heartbeat had slowed significantly, but she was still alive.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Evil people do this, Jason. Evil, wicked people. What kind of person does this? Uh, ah, mm, but we got to keep. Oh my Lord, have mercy on us. We gotta keep going.
The clamp grabbed her last limb and ripped it off. She wiggled and squirmed around, and then her heart finally stopped beating. I announced that there was no more cardiac activity. The nurse and scrub tech in the room gasped, realizing for the first time that this was happening to a fetus that was still alive. The remaining body parts, the head and torso, were removed. Placenta was removed, and a final look with ultrasound revealed all products of conception were removed. I was told I could leave the room. Up until that moment, I had been frozen. I silently removed the ultrasound machine from the
What would you do in this situation? If you're not convinced that there's evil in the world, if you're not convinced that strong men are needed to stop this nonsense, to stop the senseless murder of millions and millions of babies, and I'm letting you know the gospel is the answer. Thank you, Jason. The gospel, the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus Christ is the answer. But not because it's a magic potion, because it's the only thing that can change the heart of stone to the heart of flesh. The only thing that can warm up the love of many waxing cold, the love of Jesus Christ is the only thing that can warm it up, to heat it up to a burning passion for the lost. The gospel of Jesus Christ is the only thing that can turn the hearts of the fathers towards the heart of the children, and vice versa. Well, we allowed not we personally, I didn't allow this to happen, but our society has allowed these things to happen with no consequence.
the operating room, went directly to the locker room, and threw up. I quit my job at that hospital shortly after. I told my boss I would never again participate in that type of procedure. I was having nightmares and could not escape the memory of what I had witnessed. I would never again assist in the murder of a child. It was over 20 years ago, but it's just as vivid in my mind today as the day it happened. The saddest part is that this procedure is still happening today. People have no idea we are murdering babies in this way. They think it isn't a person, that it's just a mass of tissue. I'm so sorry for what happened to this little girl, for what I did to her. I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm so sorry.
Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, mm, mm. Now this is a both a beautiful thing, because we Christians need to learn how to use art to make our points. We need to learn how to use the media to present beautiful and palatable, not palatable. Let me get that out of my head. Beautiful and compelling stories to compel the gospel truth, or the biblical truth about things. Now, this animation did exactly that. The animation was on point. The colors, the sound effects. If you had your headphones on, you could hear the crunches, and it's a beautifully made animation. but the story was written, not written, it wasn't made up. The telling of the story drew you in, and you felt, I feel, I felt my heart really. It's a beautiful way of telling the story. What I need you to do is Christian Man Heroes. What I need you to do is, I got this from AD Robles, is the baby in the trash was rough. Yeah, he said the baby in the trash was rough. Yep, yep. I'm gonna show all these things. I'm just learning how to do this, so you gotta forgive me. Everyone needs to watch it. Dear bro Christian. Yep. I'm gonna just put this up here. This is one of my favorite. I'm gonna start that one. But it's very important for us to be able to tell good stories that and do things well, and not people that know how to be creative, people that know how to do art, people that know how to sing and make music and things like that. It's very, very important for us to communicate that at a high caliber, just like this animation was, but also tell compelling stories and tell the truth of things. They told the truth. It was a baby in the womb. I will never participate in the murder of a child again. It's not an abortion. It wasn't just a procedure. It wasn't just a clump of cells getting ripped apart. You saw it and you felt it. And it takes bravery to create something like that. Now, the animators and things like that have all been top secret, and no one knows who they. Some people know who they are, obviously, but I need you to find this video. Where now I saw it on AD Robles's channel. I saw it on Apologia channel. I saw an article about it on Answers in Genesis. I need you to find this and share it all over the place, because YouTube is going to try to take this down eventually. This is how they work. It's just how they work, and there's no way they can allow this phrase right here to stand. This is killed. This one got me.
For what I did to her. I'm sorry, sweetheart.
Like the I'm sorry, sweetheart. That got me. Jason said download it. I don't even know how to do that. That's that savvy stuff. He has a copy in the bunker. But I'm sorry, sweetheart. As he goes from what he imagined her to be. See that storytelling? He goes from what he did, what he had a part in.
I'm sorry, sweetheart.
To what he imagined her life to be. To what he imagines her life to be now. I don't even have much to say. I don't even have much to say. It's that one phrase right here.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm so sorry.
And the body being and this is what's getting me. This is what's getting me. Nah, I mean, that's what's good about storytelling, right? Jason said, I thought he was looking at his own baby and remembering what he did. He could be, That's what's beautiful. No one tells you what that was about. I interpreted it as he saw the baby, and then he remembered the baby and remember who she could be, the life that she could have had. But that's a good point. He could have been looking at his own child and remembering the horror that he participated in, and how he's never going to do that again. That's a beautiful statement. You're right. You're right. And this reminds me of Nehemiah. Nehemiah, before he came to the king and told the king about the temple and the structure and the walls of the temple and the walls of the city being broken down, he said to God that I participated. Help forgive me of my sins. Forgive me how I turned away. It wasn't just the people in the world, your people just turned away, but I was an active part of this turning away. It is the same thing for us men. No, we didn't cause this to happen. No, we're not part of that. Some of us aren't. Some of us aren't a part of that, right? But what have we done as men to be a part of that culture, to be a part of the degrading of human life culture? You don't think you've been part of it? What about pornography? Huh? What about the music you listen to? Is that degrading of human life culture? You don't think you've been part of the eugenics program? I'm letting you know, if you listen to drill music, you've been a part of the eugenics program. Mm-hmm. I'm letting you know, if you've been part of this political thing, the Black Lives Matter, all that farce, you've been part of eugenics program. You're just helping people do that. Oh no, it's not. It's not as bad. It's not as deep. You don't think it's as deep, but if you are lusting after a woman, look, you're part of it. If you have prolonged singleness and you don't prolong singleness, you're a bastard. And you don't treasure or hold to high esteem marriage. Yeah, you're part of it. Now you're way down the line, right? That's the end of the slide. That's the end when you Moloch worshiping. But worship of self, that's what this is. Worship of self. That's what happens when you worship self. That's what happens when you worship self. Anything that gets in the way of self has to be destroyed. So why not a baby? Why not a baby? It's uh it's really hard to watch this video. It's really hard. But we as men need to repent. We repent for the culture we let happen. Um, the fight that we refuse to fight. The spots in our lives where we're being passive and not doing what we're supposed to do. We need to repent of that. We need to repent of our selfishness, our refusal to be not servants, our refusal to lead by serving. There's totally different. We're not supposed to be servant leaders. Our leadership is our service. Our refusal to be brave, our refusal to be courageous, our refusal to have a strong mind and think through things, to read books about our theology, our refusal to take our faith and contend for it, our refusal to take the faith and learn about it. We have to repent of that. Because the theological concept or the theology of self produces death. The The theology, what's wrong with me today? The theology of self produces death. Produces death. And it's hard for me to watch. Hard for me to watch this. But I need you to go on. You want to come through, man? Is that what you're saying, Jason? It's time for us as men to stand up against this. We have to raise our voice. We have to speak up. We have cry loud and spare not. We have to speak up against this. This we have to talk against. We have to talk about. This has to be a real conversation. This has to be a real conversation. If you have any thoughts about this, you want to come share, look, I'm putting it in a link. I'm gonna drop the thing in here. Bang. If you want to jump on right fast and talk about it, Jason, we can definitely do that. But it's it's different. It's different. Yeah, it's hard for me to even. I can't even fathom coming to work. It's a regular work day for you. Look at the place he's in. That's what gets me. The stuff in the background tells a story too. Look. All this is about life. He's a regular stenographer. A regular stenographer. Right? Look at the pictures in the background. Babies, mothers and fathers, a smiling baby. Unbeknownst to him. My Lord. Help us. Help us. How you doing, buddy? What's up, Mr. Cardwell? How you doing, sir? We're just going over the procedure, and I'm about to go in a little bit because I got to start putting the kids to bed. The procedure. It's an animated short 4-minute animation that shows the horror of and the atrocity of the abortion. It's about you got to check it out. It's called The Procedure. Look it up, check it out. But my Lord, help us. Oops, didn't mean to put that up there. So that's really all I had to say about that, heroes. Look, that every time. Again, I got a new comment. What's this about? This wicked. This is wicked, but it must be exposed for what it is. Exactly. And I was also talking about the ability to tell good stories. This is, if you look at the screen right now, this is right before this stenographer doesn't know what's going on. But look at the hallway he's going past. Now, this is what the animators added to tell the story. He's a regular stenographer. He spends think about your life. You spend most of your time looking at babies being born and giving them the joy of who the baby is and what type, and you got to be able to read it. and you go through this hallway every single day, but you have no idea that at the end of this hallway is that. You have no idea at the end of this hallway that's about to go down. At the end of this hallway, that's about to go down. At the end of this hallway, that's about to go down. That's about to go down. He went from this, and I think he walked past the same hallway. He went from this to having nightmares about that. He had no idea. No idea. That's really all I got to say about that, heroes. Look, we have to be brave. We have to be strong and courageous. Strong physically. Have a backbone of steel. Courageous mental strength. Having a heart of flesh submitted to God. Heart of flesh and backbone of steel. That's what we need in this time. That's what we need in this time. Until next time, heroes. Be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, and be strong out there. Peace.